Hello Tango community, it's Ricardo.
And this is Lindsey. So this weekend we would have been at the Tucson Tango Festival dancing with our friends from Tucson and from all over the world. We also would have been performing and participating as guest instructors. So it was a bit sad for us. Every time we'd get those calendar alerts saying, hey, board your plane, check into the Airbnb.
Like, nope.
Yeah, nope, not happening. We know that this social distancing has been very hard for all of us, especially as tango dancers, as we are so in love with being connected to each other and to our communities. So we thought we would share something with you, and we'll just do a 10-minute tango lesson. So I'm starting the timer. Here we go. Okay, so here's a movement that we thought we would want to share with you. Salida, Boleo, Gancho, adorno, parada. Now the sequence is not the important thing. The important thing is the technique behind whatever sequence we're practicing. Right? So again, salida, boleo, gancho, adorno, parada. I really like this movement because it's safe in a semi-crowded dance floor, because all the action happens on the line of dance or to the outside of the line of dance. So if you're on the outside lane, this is a fairly safe, flashy movement to throw in, especially for those punchy moments in the music. So if this is my outside lane, right, I would start with a salida, but I'll make it at 45 degrees. Right? That salida at 45 degrees allows me to do this next step a bit to the outside of the dance floor.
So my boleo goes outside of the dance space.
And so does my gancho. My gancho is still being fairly safe because it's under our body. Right? Then my saludo comes right here, it's very close to me. And my parada.
The parada I'm making big right now, but if you're in a crowded dance floor, I would make it a little bit of smaller of an embellishment.
Alright, use your salida. Now, this is probably the most noble part of the movement, right? So you take a step on the outside, make sure you have a lot of this association, and here's where you lead the boleo, right? Now, that boleo is a slightly different kind of boleo that you normally do. An important thing to keep in mind is the axis of your partner, right? So I've taken my salida. I need to transfer all of my weight to my front leg. My partner's axis is at the center of the hula hoop, and I need to respect that, which means I need to pivot around that axis of my partner.
So his rotation is coming from more his hips and legs, and not so much just his isolated torso, and definitely not his arms.
Yes. And that's when I come back. I keep a lot of this association as to respect my partner's axis and allow them to create the space for my gancho. I don't put the emphasis of the gancho on the up, I put it on the down. The adorno, the saludo, happens quite naturally. Bring my partner over and create the parada. Make sure you are using your legs and not your arms, just like Lindsey said, right? This is not what I want. Here I was lazy and I took my partner down. No. Here I am respectful, solid, connected, mindful of my partner's place in space, of where their legs are going, and creating a beautiful moment for both of us.
Yeah. So it's a great technique to work on individually for leaders, for followers. If you don't have a partner to do the entire sequence together, you can also practice and prepare yourself for this, focusing on mostly the disassociation. There's a lot of disassociation throughout the movement for both leaders and followers. So a nice little U-shaped practice drill is nice. So we take a step back, have disassociation, square off in a side step, and then back disassociation in the front step. You can continue around for your parada, and then rinse and repeat on the other side. Back, side, forward, making sure that you're disassociating the parada, and then back, side, forward.
Now, something I don't particularly love about this movement is that for me, it always has the same inflection to it. It's always snappy. It's always very punchy and rhythmic.
It's actually quite fun. So it feels, for the follower, almost like you're on one of those bungee rides, because it's very springy and, like you said, punchy. So I actually create a high boleo on the going and the returning, which is a little bit atypical for boleo.
Yeah, and so the reason why I always give it that inflection is because that gives information to my partner on the kind of boleo that she can do at that moment. If I try to do this movement very smoothly, of course it can work. Right? I'm going here very smoothly. You notice there's a different kind of boleo when I do it punchy. Right? Now, the reason for that is this. If I do it very smoothly, my partner doesn't know if it's gonna be a boleo or if it's gonna be this kind of movement, right? Maybe I'm gonna do something completely different, right? Now when I do it a bit punchy, she knows from the outset that it's a boleo, that it's returning. So it allows that sort of different boleo.
I keep my leg very solid, and I use the power of my standing leg to do the pivot, but be careful not to go open like this. It actually looks like my right leg is, or my free leg is moving, but it's really my standing leg creating the movement.
Yeah, leaders, be mindful of the foot, of the ankle that remains behind. Do not break your lines. So you want to keep it towards the ground. It's just aesthetically, it's a world of different. Yeah, there's a banana foot, and also you're risking your ankle there. There's a strain that doesn't need it.
So it actually mostly comes from keeping your leg, your hip together and not opening out. But it can also be a break in the ankle. So just pay attention to that and be aware of for yourself, where is that coming from if you see that in
Yeah,
your
and my thighs are locked. Right, my knees are actually not locked in because I'm making a bigger movement. But my thighs definitely are locked. Leaders, I recommend you get yourself a hula hoop and hold it like this or like this, right?
And just for visual, I am supposed to be in the middle of this.
Yeah. For this movement, I like holding it this way, right? And so Lindsey is right in the center of this hula. Every movement that I practice, I'm imagining my partner's axis.
One more time facing the other direction, so not that side.
Okay. We went back to the lane of dance. All right. Well, I hope we are able to share something that was fun and interesting for you.
Thank you, and we hope to see you soon.
We'll get better at this.